Good afternoon, everybody. I think everybody's heard the news, and I just want my opening statement is that this is one of the most talented teams that has ever been assembled by the New York Jets. I wanted to give this team the most opportunity to win this season. I feel that we had to go in a different direction, and that's why I did that today. The change that we made today, that I made, I believe will bring new energy and positivity that will lead to more wins starting now. I want to say, which I've said earlier to some of the members of the leadership team that represents the players, how proud I am of this team, this specific team this year, and excited about what could happen and what will happen, particularly given these changes that we've made today. So, as I don't know if this has been reported, but we've taken the defensive coach, Jeff Ulbrich, and made him the interim head coach. I've seen him coach, and I know the relationship he has with the players, and they respect him. They trust him. I've seen it at halftime, and I've seen it in practice. When he talks, they listen to him in a way that probably represents the fact that he did play the sport as linebacker for 10 years, which is pretty unique. So he brings that knowledge and the respect and the knowledge to the game in a way that I think will be very good for the players going forward. And so with that, I'm happy to take any questions you might have.
Thank you, Ambassador Johnson. At this time, we will begin the Q&A portion of our call. As a reminder, please press *3 on your telephone to be added to the queue. When your line is unmuted, please state your name and organization before asking your question. Brian, your line is open.
Woody, what specifically did you feel like Robert Saleh wasn't getting done that you felt you had to make this change?
Brian, as I just stated, when I take a look at this team, and I've been doing this for 25 years now. This is probably the best team I've had in 25 years. I just felt that the best way to go forward is with a new direction, and taking Jeff Ulbrich and making him the interim head coach. I thought that would get the most out of this team and give us the best chance that we all want to have, which is going to the playoffs.
Rich, your line is now open.
Woody, Rich Cimini from ESPN. I'm
hey,
curious.
Rich.
Hi, Woody. What, if any, input did Aaron have in this? Did you discuss it with him before making the decision? If you could maybe discuss that a little bit.
Well, I did talk to him the night before, but we didn't discuss this, specifically at all. I mean, we were basically talking about the previous game and, his breaking 60,000 yard record and accomplishing that. And sorry, he got hit so many times and how was he feeling? And so, no, in terms of whether I was going to do it or not, no, we didn't discuss that.
Your line is now open.
Woody, it's Tom Rock from Newsday. How are you?
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Good. I'm just curious about the timing of this and why, it was such a short leash for Robert now that you didn't make this decision at the end of last season.
Well, we didn't have this team last season, but we've got an unbelievable team, as I said earlier, and it just felt like the right decision to make at this time. So I made the decision to do it now. It's something, Tom, when you make a decision like this, it's not an easy decision. This required a lot of soul searching and, you know, looking back at my experience in sports and particularly with the New York Jets for 25 years. And so I took it very seriously. And that's why I made the decision, because I thought and think that it's going to make us more competitive, and it's going to help us reach the goals that the team and I want to accomplish.
It just seems.
Mark Cannizzaro, your line is open.
Hey, Woody. I have
Hey, Mark.
2 questions. How are you?
Yep. Good.
2 questions. The first of which, most of your struggles have been on offense, and obviously we know that Robert's built a pretty good defensive, backbone to this team since he's been here. So I think a lot of the Jet fans' question is, how is this move going to help your offense, which has clearly been the issue? That's my first question. My second question is, just as a follow, is there seems to be a perception that you are very influenced by, your fans' frustration and anger, and I'm curious, what your take is on that.
Right. Well, that's the media, trying to get a story, because, you know how that works. How do we improve the offense? I think one of the reasons that I decided to make a coaching change at the highest level here is exactly that. We need to find ways to win. And so we're not going to do it. We're not going to find those ways by doing the same thing over and over and over. So I think that Jeff is going to add something. He's going to add a spark of positivity and all that goes with somebody, and the trust that the players have in somebody that's been through it, and they know, and that they respect, and they know that's reciprocal. And those changes that we have to make on offense, we'll make. We're going to make them on offense, and we're going to make them on defense. We're going to try to get better. And so this is a new opportunity for all of us. And so that's why I decided to do that today.
Mike Garafolo, your line is open.
Hey, Woody. Did you consult with Joe Douglas on this decision?
Joe Douglas and I, yeah. Hi, Mike. How you doing? I did talk to Joe Douglas about it, but in the end of the day, this was my decision, and my decision alone. And, I've had enough experience doing these things. It's the first time I've done it this early, but I thought, once again, I thought and think that this will help the team, help this talented team achieve the goals that the team wants, and that I want, and the fans want.
Connor, your line is now open.
Hey, Woody, this is Connor Hughes with SNY. I know you mentioned specifically the offense there, that the changes you're going to make on offense, you're going to make on offense. But specifically, what are you going to do to ignite that group? Or are you considering changes on the offensive side of the ball? And then, as a second quick question, how would you assess the job that Nathaniel Hackett has done as your offensive coordinator the last 2 years, and specifically this year?
Okay, well, I think we're going to make changes wherever changes are due. We know where we're weak and where we're strong, and so do you. You can see it every week, and so we are going to make the changes that enable us to give these fabulous players on both sides of the ball the chance to win. And we know that we have to make some improvements and changes here. That is sure. And Jeff, although I haven't had a chance to talk to him too much today because he's quickly morphing into being the head coach, which is a pretty sizable transition for him, which I think he's more than capable of handling, by the way. And so, offense has been, certainly, it's been a challenge, more than a challenge. And I think it's something that I'm sure he'll be focusing on.
We'll take a few more questions. Brian, your line is open.
Woody, I'm just curious, these last two games, what has irked you the most about these two losses?
The last two games, what has hurt us?
What has bothered you the most in these last two games? I'm assuming, with this decision today, that these last two losses really ate at you. What bothered you the most about the way the team lost these two games?
I would refute that. It's not just the last two games that has precipitated this decision. It's a excuse me. It's a longer time frame. So I've had a couple of years to think about this, yeah, I just think we can do better, Brian. The team can do better if we have this new leadership, rather. I think that's going to bring out the best in these players. I really do. I feel confident that that's going to happen. And this is a new day for the team, and it's a new day that's welcome. And as the team realizes what opportunity this is for them, I think they're gonna go to a level that we haven't seen in a while.
Our last question for the day comes from Rich Samini. Rich, your line is now open.
Hi, Woody. Please indulge me for one
Rich.
more. And
Yeah.
I'm going to go a little bit off base here with apologies, but what is your take on why the Hassan Reddick situation has not worked out?
Rich, I would rely on you for this. This is something I've never seen before, and you've got even more years than I have. And I know I don't think any of us have seen anything like this. So I think you have to be part psychologist and part some other to try to figure out what is actually going on. I think, I hope that the young man can come to the team. We'd like to have Hassan here. We'd welcome him with open arms. And, I will extend that. And I haven't talked to Jeff, but I think he would feel exactly the same way. So when he gets here, he'll find a very welcome locker room. And he'll be able to fit right in, but he's got to get here first. So, Hassan, get in your car, drive down 95, and come to the New York Jets, and we can meet you and give you an escort right into the building, and you'll fit right in, and you're going to love it here, and you're going to feel welcome, and you're going to accomplish great things with us.